say good afternoon, and thank you to the organisers for inviting us to your wonderful country and the fantastic welcome you've given us. It's really appreciated, thank you very much. I'm going to start by talking about Zero Waste Europe. Okay, Zero Waste Europe is a new organisation. We were incorporated in July 2009. The reason we have created this networking organisation is because to date, how Europe works, we have directives that come at a European level. They're then interpreted by the member states, and they're then made into legislation in each country. The European Commission is the body that controls and listens to the lobby. And so far, the only lobby in the European Commission that the Parliament is listening to is the incineration lobby, is the waste management industry, is the landfill industry. And what we really need is another voice, and we need a voice that talks about zero waste Europe, and what the communities want in Europe. So our aims is to really work across the EU to promote and facilitate the elimination of waste. Our members include municipalities, universities, companies, organisations and communities. Okay, so zero waste aims. As an organisation, we've adopted the 3-year definition of zero waste. It's a philosophy, it's a strategy, and it's practical tools. We provide information from the different European countries, and we share best practice. And we're particularly pleased to share good news stories, the good things that are happening in Europe. It's very inspiring when we went to the Philippines last year. See the fantastic things they're doing at a community level. Whereas we find in Europe it's a struggle against the bureaucracy and the big companies. So we really want to create that alternative, working with communities and organisations to support this transition. We are also working to protect the zero waste brand, because there are many companies and municipalities that say they're zero waste. But they're not zero waste, they're zero waste to landfill, and they're building incinerators. This is not what we're about. Okay, so these are some of the principles of zero waste. I'll just go through very, very quickly what these are about. As we discussed, it's about promoting zero waste. It's about communities and businesses adopting a goal and a plan how they're going to achieve it. It's about engaging the community and the informal sector to work, to innovate, and to do zero waste. It's about working with the reprocessing industry. In the UK at the moment, we have several reprocessors, but they're at threat because they're not getting good quality materials. They may well move out of the UK because we're not providing those materials for those industries. We want to support zero waste procurement, extended producer responsibility, and we want to promote zero waste to create employment, to reduce emissions, to fight climate change. And it really is the only way to conciliate human existence with the world's finite resources. Okay, so these are the goals, if you like, what a municipality would need to do to achieve zero waste in their community. So it's about adopting definitions. It's about having a target. So we say, okay, we know 88%, 90% can be recycled, but we want to drive the residual waste down. So we say each head of population, for the next 5 years, 100 kilograms a year is the limit. After that, in another 5 years, it should be 50 kilograms per head. We don't want to see the residual going up. We want programs to design waste out of our system. Residual separation research facilities can look at the residuals. They can say what should not be in the system and how it can be redesigned. We need more work on this across Europe. We need to educate and train people, professionals, policymakers and citizens. We want green procurement. We want to expand the zero waste infrastructure, so that's resource recovery parks, community facilities, it's buyback facilities. We want to promote and share the best practice, and to report the progress to the rest of the network on a yearly basis. So these are the conditions that municipalities would have to meet to be able to say they are working towards zero waste. Okay, so where are these municipalities at the moment? Slovakia, Hungary, Catania, Italy, Sicily all have community-driven zero waste plans. So these are where the people in those communities are fighting with government to say this is the way forward. In Wales, we have a towards zero waste strategy. We have the same in Scotland, towards zero waste strategy. They're very good and very progressive compared to a lot of the legislation we've had in the past, but the issue is they still leave incineration as part of that strategy. Incineration cannot be part of a zero waste strategy. People in Scotland and Wales are very confident that incineration won't happen, it's very expensive, and the zero waste programs are very effective. So the plan is there'll be no need for incineration, there'll be no money for incineration. In England, we have a new coalition government, which is quite an exciting opportunity because they're now consulting on a new strategy, which is towards a zero waste economy. So we go back, when I leave here, we have a meeting in the House of Parliament with the MPs to discuss what that might mean. So for us, it's a really great opportunity and we're quite excited about that. But now for some good news stories from Europe. So I'm going to talk about some door-to-door collection systems, drinks packaging initiatives, and it's something different for milk distribution. Okay, source separation. So we're talking about the door-to-door collection of recyclables. In Flanders, in Belgium, they have the highest proportion of separate reuse in the European areas. Their reuse, recycling and composting rates are 75% and increasing. And if we have a look here, they've got a scheme called Pay As You Throw, which is all about the residual waste. So when they had no waste policy, 550 kilograms of waste was produced per person. In 2006, when they introduced the waste policy, that reduced to this much, 121 kilograms per inhabitant. So people are actually paying for wasting. So that's a really great incentive for turning waste into resources and getting some good quality recycling. Okay, so in Italy, there's about 1,500 municipalities. About 55% have source separation, and 20% of those have got recycling and composting rates that are above 80%. In Spain, Catalonia, we have 100 municipalities. Mallorca, 30 municipalities. In the Basque Country, there's 80% source separation, and 36% waste reduction, which was due to a home composting initiative. So the local authorities, the municipalities, do not have to collect the green waste. It's being composted in people's gardens. And we also have an initiative in the UK called Zero Waste Places, and the Pristine in Wales is one community that's now working towards zero waste. And they've identified 88% diversion from landfills. So the other 12%, they're now going to be working on strategies on how to design that out of the system through what people buy, what they bring home, and what really needs to go back to the producers and manufacturers. These are some of the, I think I've just missed one actually, the models for door-to-door collection. So we've got two systems in Europe. This one here is what we call commingled recycling. So we'll have one truck will collect the garden waste, one truck will collect recyclables, so plastic bottles, cans, paper and card all in one truck. It's a compactor truck, so it gets squashed, and it then goes to a material recovery facility where it goes through various machines to be separated out into plastic bottles, cardboard and paper again before it can be sold to the markets. This system here, they've been piloting in the UK. It's a curbside sort system. So you have your box, you have your recycling in it, the operative collects that box, and he puts the paper in one area, the card in another, the bottles and cans are all separated. The door-to-door collections, whether it's commingled or a curbside separated system, provides the highest diversion rates. They provide the better quality recycler, and it's lower than a mixed waste. You know, this is everything chucked into one collection. But when we look a little bit more at the quality of those, what we're finding and the cost of those is that the curbside sorts, so where the operative puts the bottles in one and the cans in another,
produces really high quality materials. And it's also much better in terms of price. So, okay, WRAP did a study. First study, it costs £62 to collect a tonne of material, commingled recycling, in a compactor truck. It costs £24 to put that through the facility that separates it all out again. So the total cost of that was £86. If you look at the source separated collection, it has a much higher cost to collect, it's £122 per tonne. But that's because it's creating jobs. And those jobs are incredibly important. Those materials are very, very good quality. They're being sold for £65 a tonne. So the total cost to recycle 1 tonne of materials through the system, where you have more jobs, better quality materials, is cheaper, £57 a tonne. And that study was conducted by WRAP, which is an organisation funded through the UK government. For drinks packaging, we have some extended producer responsibility initiatives. The countries in dark green, which are these ones, they've had one-way take-back and refill policies for maybe 20 years or so, with recovery rates of about 80 to 90%. So 80 to 90% of the bottles and cans that are bought in those countries are returned to facilities where the person that brings them is rewarded with either money or with a sort of point system where they can get vouchers. The countries in light green are still talking about it. Now, what we're really keen to see is to move not just from the one-way take-back, so where your bottle goes and it goes to be recycled. We want to see more bottles going to be refilled and coming back again. It's going to be much better for the environment. And this, I think, is great. It's a new way in Europe that they're distributing milk. In Europe, we have a lot of very, very big supermarkets, and the supermarkets dictate the prices of what they buy from the farmers. And they were paying nearly no money for the milk that was being produced. They were paying so little that the farmers weren't finding it viable to produce the milk to sell to the supermarket. So in some places, the farmers decided that there needed to be an alternative option. And this is what they call the milk automat machine. So the milk is provided by a local farmer who's filling the machine. And then you in the local community can go with your own bottle to fill the milk, or there would be bottles available. So this system is cheaper for you, the consumer. It produces less waste. It produces less food miles. And so far, we're seeing these machines in Italy, France, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Spain, Slovenia, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. Keep in touch with us. We've got everything on our website, Zero Waste Europe, and we also have a Twitter. It's a very new organisation. We're only just at the beginning, so we're really about sharing stories and getting in touch with people. Thank you very much.